Emotional support is being listened to.
Emotional support is someone to help, someone to listen.
Emotional support is connection.
Emotional support is validation.
Emotional support is recognition.
Emotional support is trust.
Emotional support is how you feel being valued.
Emotional support is healthy friendships.
Emotional support is free expression.
Emotional support is an animal companion.
The big thing about emotional support is someone just being there for you and having a safe space.
I think it's asking genuinely how someone's doing, showing an interest in someone's life.
Emotional support, just to have someone that you can trust, that you can go to and know that they're not going to judge you. They're not going to upset you and make things worse. They're going to be there to support you no matter what.
Knowing that the person that's supporting you isn't just there for a weekend and then disappears. It's like there's some sort of regularity in it.
I think as you grow up, you try to find a space for you in this huge world, and finding your own space has a lot to do with finding the people who you're comfortable around.
I think a huge aspect of emotional support is validation. Just letting someone know that what they feel is important. And time. Giving someone your time means a lot. It's made me feel like I'm not alone, and it encourages me and helps me to overcome and face the struggle.
I feel safe when I'm at home.
I feel safe when I'm around people that care about me, that I trust.
I feel safe when I'm allowed to feel my feelings.
I feel protected in the garden, and I feel like I can just let my emotions out just by looking after and caring for plants.
When I feel down, what helps me is being creative, having time to relax and recover.
When I feel down, what helps me is the presence of someone who understands what I go through.
When I feel down, what helps me is meeting my family and friends or watching a comfort TV show.
When I feel down, what helps me is taking a break from stressful things.
When I feel down, what helps me is getting fresh air. If we were in a perfect world, there would be specific emotional support for each young person, and they would have a way to access that for free and without being on a waiting list for years on end.
So often when you try to seek help, you get told there's a waiting list or a lack of funding, so it's really reassuring when there is a service that will have you as you are.
You shouldn't have to prove you need support to access it.
Everyone is facing something in their life, and society needs to understand that better.
My partner is my best friend. We work as a team.
It's helpful to have someone who's the yin to your yang.
I don't always tell my family about everything, but the fact that I know they're always there is quite reassuring.
Pets, I think they know when something's wrong. I feel like they can sense it.
My dogs are like lap dogs. They love to sit on you, fall asleep on you and stuff like that. So that's nice. I think that's one good thing about pets. They don't offer advice. It's important to have the people who care about your feelings first.
It's also very important to have people who you can just hang out with.
I have sort of one best friend. She's really fab. She's someone I can always turn to and she understands.
Small shop and cafe owners, baristas, and charity shop workers are sweethearts. They really let you feel like part of the community. It's hard living away from family, especially when they are the people who I have such good relationships with.
My issue with family is I have so much grief. Grief for people who have died recently, but also grief from parents who never acted like parents, who should have looked after me and protected me, but did the opposite.
Moving away means I'm becoming my own parent. I'm relearning how to calm my inner child and tell them they're okay again. They're finally safe.
It's really hard to make friends, I think, as an adult. Uni is actually a really difficult time to make friends. There are so many people, but most of them are only there for a little bit, and then most relationships just sort of dissolve.
Everyone is so busy, we often don't have time to look after each other or ourselves.
Some things I don't tell my family because I just don't want them to know. While, say, someone like a therapist, I feel like it's easier somehow to tell them.
I think medical professionals don't have the time or money to actually deal with mental health in a way that's useful. It's honestly my favorite place in the world. It's food, it's history, it's drink, it's everything in between.
It's the perfect size as well.
When it gets nice and warm, I spend quite a lot of time in the museum gardens. I just like the old-fashioned feel on the buildings, and I feel more comfortable in them.
The best places I feel comfortable are probably the old buildings with the bookshop businesses and then the little tea businesses.
There's a little hidden things, like there's a little mystery hidden cats, and they're on buildings that you can go look around.
The parks and nature spots are my favorite places. I feel safe when I'm surrounded by plants, and I love feeding the squirrels too.
I do feel as though there's a lack of understanding of mental health and support for mental health.
There's not that many queer spaces, there's no gay clubs or anything.
I've only really got one friend in York.
People see York as this bustling tourist destination, but it's a lot different when you actually live here.
It's not as glamorous as people think.
Living in New York is quite expensive, so it's difficult to live on your own.
There's always a new luxury apartment block being built, and it's like, where are these people coming from? Why isn't there affordable housing in York?
I feel like most areas are either centred around tourists or cars.
It's hard to walk to some places because it's so noisy, and the public transport can be really bad and expensive.
There's so many businesses closing down and a huge amount of loss of jobs, which means there's more competition and it's more difficult to try and find a job.
When I look for jobs and stuff, it's very limited.
Rent prices being what they are, I just think I'd hate leaving York. If I can avoid it, I will, because I'd love to spend the rest of my life here.
I hope to continue understanding my own mental health and working on my own personal development.
I would like to have my closest people around me. People are more capable than they think when it comes to tackling mental health, whether that's on their own journey or supporting others with theirs.
Listening is something anyone can do. You don't need to be a trained health professional, and that can be quite powerful.
I think it would serve us well if we were kinder, not just to others, but also to ourselves. Understanding our emotional needs lets us be better listeners and supporters to others.
There's something so powerful in being able to ask someone how they are and not expecting a generic response. Like, how are you actually? Being prepared to have those conversations can change lives.